I think so.
We're
Are we
live.
We're live. We're live, right?
Xavier Valdez.
Yo,
welcome back
thank
to the
you
Studio
so much
Corner
for having
podcast.
me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
You were just explaining to me things about social media that drove you up the wall.
3 things that I can't stand right now. That I can't stand seeing on social media. I'll reiterate. Number 1, I have a social media account for people that don't know me. Okay, I have one of those. So I watch stories. And the number 1 on my list that I hate seeing is your horoscope and how it affects your day. And because your moon is in Venus and my ass is in Uranus, right?
It's a serious subject for you, isn't it?
That it like just defines that you're this type of way and you're this kind of asshole because of your sign, because
it becomes the excuse as to, I act like this because of this.
because of and like
there's memes about this.
Yeah, I know. And like, I'm sorry, I'm a Cancer, so I mean Cancer did this situation. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
I don't like seeing it. It shouldn't be taken that seriously. Number two, mood. Okay, I don't know why people say mood when they post about like a coffee at a table and they're like mood, and I'm like, what is that? What does that mean? Tell me what the coffee.
You're a spectacular human. Oh my goodness. Mood, I guess is the best way to put it, is they embrace the essence of the situation.
Okay.
They're about it.
Okay.
But you could very easily just say like, freaking love this coffee.
Yeah,
like a normal
just
person.
say that.
But,
yo, I love this coffee. I'm gonna post
but
about
mood is hip. It's like what the cool kids do.
Yeah. Okay.
Mood.
So if I'm about a situation, I'll just go mood. What if I'm about drinking water and do I mood it?
Yeah, you mood it.
Okay.
You could. So the great part about mood is that you can literally use it for anything.
Yeah.
But I think that, and it's the greatest part about it, is also the worst part about it.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. This is a whole ass mood. I'm so
like,
dehydrated.
I don't think I've ever seen that word used or ever heard anyone go mood about something and been like, that person's cool. Like it's never been. There's never been
that person's sick.
That person's about that.
Number 3. Okay. Number 3. I saw a post and my cousin had a thing on his story too that I just wanted to rip on him for, but I didn't. I held back because I didn't.
Because you're gonna come on a podcast.
Because I'm a Capricorn, so I don't. I don't do that. Whatever. So I saw a thing on a friend's story, Instagram story. It said, "Don't hurt nobody and don't something nobody. Read that again." So you gotta read it again because I guess you're too stupid to comprehend what it had just said.
Yeah.
Or what you just read, and here I go reading it again.
That one actually pisses me off.
Yes,
that one.
That
and here's why.
Off. Yeah.
Here's why. It's not that it pisses me off. It's just kind of like the saying. If it's that good, is the saying. Like the saying is going to be good on its own.
Yeah.
I feel like when they put "read that again,"
it's like they make you feel bad because
it's not even that. I feel like they're immediately trying to take some sort of credit for the fact that they showed it to you.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I don't know how to describe. I don't know the best way to put it into words. But when I read that, I'm like, I don't know, what am I doing here? Am I reading like the great message, or am I trying to see that you're telling me to see this great message?
Yeah.
Like, who am I acknowledging here?
You're like, oh my God, I get it now because I read it
I
again.
missed it.
I missed it the first time. I glanced over it. I guess.
Now, did you experience all 3 of these today?
Yes, the horoscope today. Not the mood.
The mood is just...
It's just always something that's pissed me off. And and then the read that again, I experienced that today. And I was like, I hate this.
I feel like a lot of the motivational speakers and like dudes that, post like all their 5 steps to success thing, I feel like they do that again. They do it a lot. Like, here's a quote that I believe in. Read that again. Like, let that settle in.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm sorry for coming in flustered, but that was seriously on my mind. I hated.
Well, I'm glad that we were able to tackle that right off the bat. So other than the 3 social media intrusions into your life, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I been through a little bit of number of things this past couple months, right?
Okay.
Within a very short time span, number 1, I got fired from as we both know, formerly known as Jimmy Swag. He goes by Jimmy Villa or Via now.
Yeah.
Like VILL. It could be interpreted both ways. Number one, I got fired. But right before that, actually, I had an argument with my mom, and then I broke up with my girlfriend, and then I cried on the phone with my mom right after because I felt bad because I yelled at her. So, and then days after that, I got fired, and it was just like, oh man, yeah.
And then you're taking a break from, or you guys just had your first practice, right?
Oh yeah, we just had our.
You just came off of a break with the band.
Yeah, we had a break. Everybody had taken a month off to perfect themselves at their instruments, and I did buckle down myself. I actually have a lesson after this with last name Boger. I don't know how to say the first name because his Facebook name is different from his actual name, and I forgot his first name. So I hope he doesn't watch this.
Well, I think you'll get to the lesson. I'll wait till after your lesson to post this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he doesn't hear
So
it.
I have a lesson today, and I trust him so much because I know I've seen him mess around on the bass, just posting whatever videos.
Hell yeah.
That guy's someone I need to learn off.
Well, there you go.
So
I like that.
So I did want to perfect this instrument that I hold,
Yeah.
So we had a rehearsal last night. I feel like we're this writing process, because we never really written as a band.
It was always just you and Joe.
Yeah, it's mainly been that, and and then we start booking shows, and we didn't really have time for writing. And now that we're writing, it's like it feels very weird to me, very, very strange. I'm not used to that at all. It's like I've written with bands before, or as Silver Pup, we were writing all the time, just nonsense. But we were still like writing stuff. But
does it feel disingenuous or something?
No, it just because it's so different for us, as now it's like, I don't know, like how do we make something like this riff into a song and keep going? Or do we just create a bunch of ideas and then we pick what we like the best?
Do you feel like there's just too many people in the room working on one thing?
Maybe I work best when honestly, if we just start tracking on at Joe's place, I think that's when the ideas come in my head. I can't really.
You're more of a producing mindset.
Yeah. Even though I feel like I'm not a producer whatsoever, I have ideas that I like. This goes there, or see if you can throw animal noises in this, or
kind of like the gist of a producer.
Yeah, kind of, but not as cool. Right in the middle.
Yeah,
a strong number two. As I say.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you've been through a lot this last few months.
Yeah. So, yeah. One of the worst though was definitely getting fired. I did not like that at all. Not because I got fired. That's okay. But what was said to me through text message made me feel like a piece of shit. It made me feel so bad.
Why is that?
Because, after the show, I played this Thursday show. After the show, that night, I go up to the guy and I said, "Hey, how did we sound? Or how do you think we sound?" And then he said, "Honestly, I think we sounded sloppy." And I was thinking, sloppy? I didn't play anything wrong. I know it. I never play off at shows. I'll never get so fucked up where I always keep it very pro, very, very pro at shows. And I've always felt that about myself. I'd really like to, establish this professionalism on stage. So I was thinking sloppy, and it's kind of weird. I didn't really pay much attention to it. Next day, I sent him a Venmo request because I started charging him $100 a show. Good man, good buddy. So even that I think was pretty fair, right? $100 a show.
Well, I think without getting too much into detail, I think what was being asked of you and what you were doing and going through, $100 is pretty. It was a fair price,
right? So then he says he's gonna send me the money within the next Friday, right? This is on a Friday, and then he said, based on last rehearsals and this last show, I won't be paying for services that aren't up to my standards, which they weren't. That's what he said, right? And I'm thinking,
it's a little
what?
Little passive aggressive.
I read that and I'm like, what did I do? what did I do at this show that was so disgusting that I did not play up to your standards? Like I you know, and I kept it very cool. I didn't want to like blow up like, yo, motherfucker, like what's up, you know? I said, I hope it wasn't anything I did. I'm sorry to hear that. It's nice playing with you or something. He just said, no apologies necessary. I just need musicians who are professional and take pride in everything. I'm thinking, I definitely take pride in my bass playing. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
So after this, how did you handle this though? Like, did you? Because
I told everybody.
Well, you're telling everybody, but you didn't tell him. You didn't reach out to him enough, and obviously it bothered you. So it bothered you because he tapped into things that are obviously that matter to you, that are very personal. Yeah. And he was passive aggressive about it, from what from what it sounds like. And you didn't get really a clear shot of an answer, and he kind of strung you along.
Yeah. And
so you got manipulated into feeling crappy about something that you didn't even believe that was there in the first place.
Sorta, yeah. I guess when you're explaining it that way, it feels like I'm.
Which is fine. Like afterwards, I mean, but in the moment, it's frustrating. So like, how do you not like flip out? How do you not get discouraged? How do you not quit? How do you not?
Because I feel
stab someone.
I feel like with my band, with Mr. Call, I have never. They would tell me. They tell me all the time that like, if I'm off on something, then no, what you're doing is wrong, or the notes you're playing are bad or something. They'll tell me straight up. But they have never been like, yo, you're so off that, you really need to get this much better, because I'm never off when I'm playing live.
Well, it sounds more like, not that you were off, it sounds more like he had something in mind that he can't accomplish, and because he can't, he's pointing fingers, which what people do when they're insecure. Pointing fingers at the other musicians. It happens a lot in music settings for some reason. But they're not playing well enough. They're not good enough. This is not working. Right. It's the easy way out.
Yeah.
So you got fingers pointing. If anything, it was a blessing. It sounds like.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm hearing, or what I'm asking is like, that's a difficult thing to like just let go of. Right. Right. It's frustrating.
It is.
But your way of almost validating yourself was saying, hey, in my other band, in my other project where I do perform, I get this response enough to know that it's true.
Right.
So other people's responses to your performance, not the audience, like your bandmates' response to your performance, determines your skill level, determines how good you are.
It determines that the only idea I had of myself of like, I know that I am professional when I play on stage.
It validates it.
Yeah, it totally validates it, and I know that I've been playing for X amount of years. I know I've done I've taken these steps to get to this level. So I shouldn't have this kind of response. It would be very, very weird for just all of a sudden this kind of response for someone that I don't even think is that good.
So that's a whole other discussion. It's like, well, the person telling you, is it someone that you respect, or is it someone that is it someone's opinion that actually matters? Things like that. But yeah, that's really interesting, because I think we all work so hard to try to say I don't need anybody to validate who I am.
Right.
But I think it's also just as important to do what you're saying, to say, hey, I hold myself to a standard, and my bandmates and my fellow musicians, my brothers in arms kind of thing, their opinion and response to what I'm doing should validate how I feel, because it's my job to do that.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Not that it should, take away your right to be, feel the way you do about yourself. Like that's different, but I think it's a really cool thing to hear, because everyone's all about, I only need to believe in myself. I only need to like trust myself.
Right.
It's only my opinion that matters. Blah blah blah.
Right.
Which is good. It's
right.
good. Build that healthy whatever.
Right.
But when you're in a setting like you're talking about, I think I like hearing that you're out there saying, hey, their responses do validate what I'm saying, because I'm here to play with them.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of people would have the balls to admit that.
Yeah.
So. That's what I was picking at you for. I was like, let's hear it.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I appreciate you sharing all that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry that you have to deal with such nonsense.
I know, man, and like, I seriously don't think I did anything wrong, and I said, if you heard anything else, let me know, And I was trying to like find videos of that night, and I'm like, dude, I was not off this mind. So,
well, I like the confidence you have in yourself.
Yeah,
that's good. So with all this, I feel like this is I wanted to talk about the idea of showing up for yourself.
Yeah,
that's the topic for today. And I asked you to come on due to your recent experiences and due to basically your life and things that you've had to do for yourself. So I've been doing a lot of research on it and like diving into the idea of showing up for yourself, right? And naturally, a lot of psychology has come up, so I've tried to like sift through that.
Right.
But before we dive into it, I'm kind of curious for you in your personal life, just Xavier. What is Xavier like when I say showing up for yourself? What is that image in your head? What does that mean? What's like? How do you define that for yourself?
that's a good question, man.
You don't have to have some elaborate answer, but just out of curiosity, what is it that you feel and see?
I definitely feel that no matter what, I am going to make music, and I will do my best to make it great, not just by my own standards, because I'm not I don't have a label under me. I don't have Billie Eilish's whatever under me. So not only to my own standards, but to other people that wouldn't normally listen to my music or anything, but if I show them this song, they're like, oh, that's really good, or like that's cool.
Well, see, what you're talking about, this is why I'm asking, because what you're talking about is very much like, this is what I hold myself to.
Yeah.
This is the standard I hold myself to.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, which I would do, research and really diving into this, I realized that holding yourself to a certain standard is very different than showing up for yourself.
Okay.
Like imagine if someone else was showing up for you.
Right.
In life, in music, emotionally, physically, everything. Imagine that person showing up for you. Do you think you could do everything they're doing for yourself? And if you could, what would that look? What does that mean?
Right.
So, do you think that if there was that person doing that for you, do you think that if they weren't there, you're doing those things for yourself, at least creatively?
Oh man. Yeah, I would I for sure. I'm trying to understand it and like kind of envision it at the same time, but I do everything for myself, I think, I'm my mom likes to call me stubborn for sure, but I for sure am. Dude, I'll be the first to tell you that I'm pretty selfish in a lot of ways. But music in my head all the time.
Well, it's your creative outlet. That's why.
Yeah.
And I posted a little thing on. I don't know if you saw the video I posted on Instagram today.
Yeah.
And I kind of brought it up because I wanted to give a little entice people to come dive into this with us. But it was because I was realizing that the actual showing up for yourself regarding a creative outlet, not just I'm there for myself through the struggles of life, what a creative outlet does for a person. And we're all creative people, finding some sort of outlet, whether it's that hobby or playing music or taking it seriously, whatever it is, because showing up for yourself, that whole phrase, the whole psychology behind it, the whole quote unquote definition is literally making your needs the priority. Everything you need a priority.
Yeah.
But you also have to be aware of what you need, right?
Right.
So I was like, even in my personal experience, my personal life, and watching people like you and watching people that really care about the creative outlet that they've chosen, a lot of what that brings is what's actually, manifesting itself as a showing up, as being there for ourselves, taking the role of someone that we wish would take care of this one thing or be there for us, right? And it kind of takes over in the sense that allows us to grow and go to places that we normally couldn't. Yeah. Because it's in a creative realm. Right. So I think the skills we learn through that creative outlet are actually going to transfer into a happier life, a more positive attitude, or dealing with things. And I think especially think about your situation, getting fired from a band or writing songs with the whole band now, all this different stuff, the skills that you've learned through your creative outlet are allowing you to live a better life. Yeah. At least from an outsider's perspective. Yeah. It could be a totally different situation.
And, it also gives me confidence for myself as well, and because I've been making my own music, my own personal music, because I like, look, I always am thinking about music, and if I think that I want to make something just because I want to make it, I'm gonna do that, and so that's kind of what I've been doing. I've just been,
there's a freedom to it.
Yeah. So I've been hooking up with my friend Marcus, because he's learning how to mix and master. He's actually really, really good, but he's never done like alternative indie kind of styles or
Xavier stuff.
Xavier shit, indie kid or whatever. So he's like, I'm like, do whatever you want, man. Just don't be afraid to do whatever. I mean, I'm going to tell you if something sucks for sure. That's just.
But you keep that like playful freedom, just open ended.
Absolutely. So we had a song that I wrote called Bear, and originally when I sent it to him, he was just like, dude, the song is amazing. I made it in GarageBand because it's all like, I'm broke. He's like, this song is amazing, blah, blah, blah. I barely want to touch this song. And I was like, dude, you telling me that is offending me. If you don't do anything to this goddamn song, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. And he's like, okay. So then he takes it and then he adds like some bass line that I didn't really like. And then in a week, he sends me like this like upbeat synth. Like, I'm like, this is amazing. This is incredible. I love this. And like, he keeps working on it. And I'm like, yeah, try this and try this. And we start like forming this little like back and forth. And then the finished product, I decided to put it out and, submit it to like some playlists. And it got submitted in some radio station in Romania. And I was showing you yesterday that like some talk show dude or whatever, he runs some radio station. And with like some heavy accent, he's like, I don't know, I just really love this song and I hope you will too. And he plays my song or our song and I'm like, hell yeah, we did that shit. Well,
it's great because like that all rooted from the simple fact of like, I just want to do this. Like, there's this freedom factor to it. There's a necessity. Like, instead of wasting my time doing something that's probably going to be self-destructive or whatever, it's like this idea of having that creative outlet. Like, we could literally break down that whole story start to finish and talk about all the quotes again skills necessary to live a happy life or live a good life but it literally was just a simple process of like, I felt something and I had the outlet to do it. So I think finding that outlet is so important, and being as open as you are, because how many people would have been like, you know what, I'm already in a band, this is how I do my stuff, I can't do anything else, right? Constrict yourself. Which is great because like the everyday common understanding of this phrase of being there for yourself, showing up for yourself is, it's a fad now. It's popular to come forward with mental illness, to be, in need of help. Like the self-help books are, the top sellers, right? And to escape the bad environments and like, and none of that is bad. Like it's fine, it's good, whatever. People are making a huge living off of it. I think.
You're totally right.
But and it's very much and I'm glad that it's popular to be open about what's going on internally. But I think what's missing, and the reason why I'm emphasizing the creative outlet so much, I think what's missing is the idea of taking action. Because we talk about all this stuff and say how we can change our life, how we can think differently, how we can stay positive, but all the action talk is just doing what you're already doing, just with a better mindset, which is, I agree with. But how hard is that? Like, realistically, you can't just wake up every day and be like, mindset.
Right.
But having a creative outlet literally forces the action. And it's like this creative discipline that inspires us. So I found online, I was reading through once, doing this research, and I found like there's they describe showing up for yourself like in the psychologists, therapists, I mean all that stuff, that whole community, that community in like 5 steps, and I kind of worded them, I mean not verbatim, but the first one, and I want to go through all 5 of them, and I want to like kind of play off you. You share your examples.
Let's do it.
But the whole thing was like, I looked at all of them and I was like, all right, these require action. And in any outlet, in any creative outlet, in anything you like passionate about, you can find the action necessary in each step. The first step is acknowledging where you are. acknowledging where you are in life.
Yeah.
So what does that mean on the broad spectrum, right? On the broad spectrum, it's like, all right, you know what? I don't have $1 million. Right. You know what? I'm not happy. I'm single. I want to be in a relationship. I'm in a relationship. I want to be single. I'm not where I want to be,
right,
but I need to accept where I am in life.
Right.
All right. So sure, great. That's wonderful. But when we break down to the creative outlet, and feel free to use music because that's what you use. That's what you do. I think what I understood was emotionally, physically, all this stuff, to take action on acknowledging where you are means to literally find your skill level.
Right.
Whether it's technical, whether it's, performance based, whether it's, your writing ability, accepting your skill level. Because that's a tangible thing to take action upon, right?
Right.
So like for me, it's like setting technical goals. Like me, I have to accept that I can't sweep like Inve Malmsteen.
I don't think
long
so.
curly hair. You recognize him. He's super cheesy dude, but he's like the
insane
shredder
sweeper
of all shredders. He's like king.
And he sweeps like a madman.
Yeah, like a madman. And like for me, it's like, all right, well, if I want to do that, I'd have to accept like, you know what, right now I can't do that. And know where you are, accepting and being okay with that.
Right.
And that's good. But it would mean nothing if I wasn't willing to say, all right, how do I take action? My skill level's here. I need to take the action and enhance that.
Right.
So have you ever, and I'm sure you have, we all have, right? In your process through, all the crazy projects you're always doing, have you ever found yourself having to accept where you are and having to deal with that?
Yeah, totally.
Do you have like a good example and like how you worked through that?
I feel like right now is the perfect example of where I am and accepting that, I look at Mr. Call, and we had, last thing we've done is the music video that went out on YouTube, but we still haven't released another song online, which is like, you know what, this takes time. Okay, for sure, for whatever reason, it's a process, and I just have to be patient. But with my own songs, I can take action whenever I want to.
So finding the place to take action.
Yeah. So that's kind of like my balance right now, and accepting that, you know what, I work construction, and like I'm not the best at that job. I make okay money. Accepting the fact that I'm 28, I still live at home. I won't be after July because everybody's moving to Riverside except me. So it's nothing in Riverside for me.
It's Riverside.
So I have to accept that this is a very confusing time with solo project and band. And so I just have to keep rowing along, man.
So I think what I'm really curious about in your situation, because I feel it's one thing to acknowledge where you are, accept where you are, and that in itself is hard. And I think it's because of pride, because it's really hard to say I'm not where I want to be, right? I think there's a lot of pride and a lot of ego, which is fine. That's what happens. We're humans. But especially in your creative realm, especially in music, and especially like, because you did this much, and your brain doing the music video was like this step towards the next step, step.
Yeah.
But now you're like, you haven't released a song. Yeah. Right. And accepting that these things do take time, and being able to stay, I guess, I don't know if prideful is the right word, but being able to stay on not a high horse, but a horse that's moving.
Right. Yeah.
Not fall off and just, all right, well, I'm in the dirt and I'm accepting that, fine.
Yeah.
But like, you're like, all right, I'm accepting that these things take time. It's about, I guess what I'm hearing is finding what you need to acknowledge is what it is.
Yeah.
And knowing that you can take action at some point anywhere, you just have to find it.
Yeah, exactly.
The way you're doing your personal music.
Yeah.
I think that's rad. That's really cool. Because me, like, dude, I'll admit it on the show.
Yeah.
I have such a problem with being like, all right, I got momentum, I'm doing this, and like one thing, it's not even like playing wrong or like, it's not. Rarely is it technical that'll discourage me. It's if like a vibe changes, like if
mood changes.
Yeah, if it's not mood, if I'm not about it, but like if something like that like kind of flips for a split second, that kind of starts to shake everything up.
Interesting.
So I have to oftentimes have to accept all right, it's mostly a day-to-day thing for me. I have to accept today I'm not in a performing state of mind.
Right.
Today I'm I'm not, you know what, today I'm in a podcasting vibe.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to be able to write the next great song. I'm not going to be able to shred on the guitar.
Right.
I'm not going to be able to be a social butterfly, you know?
Yeah.
Or today I'm going to be able to read a book.
Yeah.
Because I'm not this, I can do this.
Right.
And it's become a day-to-day thing. I think I struggle with maintaining a bigger spectrum. You know, I admire you in that sense because you're able to kind of keep yourself moving on a broader spectrum. Like, you're always finding something to work on, but you don't lose that steam after a week. You know,
Right. Yeah.
and I think that's something to give yourself credit for.
Thank you.
One, but
Thank you.
I think
Appreciate
acknowledging where you are and more importantly taking action where you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let go of that pride.
Yeah.
Letting go, man. Fuck. Got a little deep there.
Sorry, guys. Just got a little deep.
Sorry, guys. We're talking about like things. Only with you, man. Only with you. All right, I like that. So number one, acknowledging where you are, and the second one, they talked about like that voice inside your head, and I said noticing the negative inner monologue, right? Especially as creative people, right? The inner monologue that's you just kind of talking to yourself and convincing yourself and spiraling and this and this and this, and next thing you know, you're like spiraled into a giant, you know, just this mess of a human, and nothing's actually happened.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
So
Totally.
I think noticing the negative inner monologue and shutting that out. And before because I've seen someone, I want to ask you about that. But before that, for me, inner monologue and inner critic are very different.
Okay.
And I want to emphasize.
Yeah.
I want to emphasize that because the inner monologue, all it is just our thoughts not being like. Imagine being a sheep herder and like you just open the gates and all the sheep are just running around a mountain, right? And you can't get a hold of them.
Right.
But it's like our thoughts are just let loose to go roam around and get attacked by wolves and get lost and, you know, this stuff. And we're sitting there like, where'd my sheep go?
Yeah.
You know, I think the negative inner monologue is that. I think the inner critic is actually one of the most important things that we have to keep.
Okay.
We can't let go of that. We shouldn't let it define things, but our inner critic is literally us saying, hey, this is how I feel. This is my criticism on something I'm doing. And I think if we can separate inner critic and that inner monologue, then that's a task in itself. Because everyone says, "Oh, the inner critic is just beating you up right now. Don't let it beat you up." I don't think that's the case. I think the inner critic is your opinion.
Yeah. Totally.
And you can't listen to that because your inner monologue, your that other voice is spiraling out of control and making up shit that's not even there.
Right.
Thoughts?
Yeah. I'd say for me, inner monologue. And this is the one where everything's spread out, right? Where I'm losing my mind.
Well, inner monologue's like, well, what if this? And then if I did that, then I'd be here. And then the world would end and I wouldn't have this. And like, you know, it's like, or you're just like having like this epic speech inside your head about nothing that's happening.
Right. I've thought that for sure of like, what if I went this route with the band, or what if I decided to do this with the song, and maybe this time it would have been a hit, or this time it would have been noticed by something, and then I think my inner critic is always like, shut up. Just like, it's cool, everything's cool, just relax, you know.
Yeah.
It's always, I feel like it's always been like that for me, where I'm always just like, oh well, you know.
Yeah.
Oh well, look at where you are right now, and if just try this, if that doesn't work, it's okay, whatever, try this something else. And
well, I like what you said, like right now.
Yeah.
Like focusing on right now, the idea of being present,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's a very important thing.
For sure.
But the inner critic is only worried about what you're doing in that moment, right?
Yeah.
It's always criticizing what you're doing in that moment.
Yeah.
It's never criticizing what you're going to do or what you could possibly do.
Right.
It's not bullshitting you.
Yeah, totally.
It's real.
It's reality.
always real with you.
It's
and I think that's the best way to separate it. Like, what's real with you right now, and what are you just imagining?
Yeah, right.
I
definitely go off on tangents of like, why wasn't this song a hit? Because it sounds, just as good as something I've heard, like I do, but like, and then the right now goes, it's okay. Like, just wait, something will happen.
And even if it does suck, like, oh man, Xavier, what are you playing? This is crap right now.
Right.
All right, well then it's crap. You don't like it, change it.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Rather than like, oh, Xavier, you're a total piece of shit because you didn't practice well enough, and then you didn't do this, and now here you are messing up. Just wait till you're done playing the song. They're all going to look at you like you're garbage.
Right.
That's that monologue, that spiral that's
totally.
going out of control.
Totally.
So I guess what I'm getting is that not the inner critic, that voice that kind of spirals out of control and takes you to that bad place. It's so hard to control that. It's so hard to see it coming, and it's so hard to recognize it until it's too late. One, have you ever had an experience where it was too late and you've beaten yourself up so bad that you kind of like went into like a numb state? Or are you really good at picking up on it, and like, have you ever caught yourself and be like, hold on, this isn't true?
I think when I first, I don't regret it or it doesn't beat me up, but the inner critic was like, hang on, like, you're capable of doing this. So when I first started making my solo songs, I had released like this 50s sounding song on SoundCloud, right? And then SoundCloud. Yeah, I know. Sick. And I sent one of them to my dad, or one song one time to my dad in Vegas, and I called him, and he's just ripping on me like, oh my boy, who told you could sing all this shit? And I'm just
really,
that's when the inner monologue for sure was just like, well, you know what, you're just not a singer, or well, you know what, you're just not that good at this is why you need the band. This is why you need this. This is why you need.
What's that voice the voice in your head that is allowing you to spiral? It started to spiral, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I definitely spiraled, and I got very, very discouraged, extremely discouraged of like making my own music at that point. I'm like, okay, my dad always, like, my dad's totally my harshest critic, as well as my little sister, little 13-year-old devil girl.
You have a 13-year-old sister?
Yeah, half sister.
Okay.
So it's my dad's same dad, different moms. So when he like just ripped on me over the phone about like my vocals,
taught her how to do it.
Yeah, totally. Just ripped on me for my vocals. Ripped on me. He's like, the song is okay, blah blah blah. But oh my god, kid, nobody told.
Oh man,
who told you could sing? And I'll just ripping on me, and just made me feel so bad. And I'm like, and I told him over the phone, like, and I didn't want to like be like, well, that hurts or anything. I just said, all right, I'll try something else, and like I was seriously about to stop right there and be like, this is just not happening.
I'm just not gonna do my personal.
I'm just not gonna do my own personal stuff. But I think the inner critic was like, hey, look where you've come from.
Well, I think it's the inner critic is what judges what you're doing in that moment for yourself.
Yeah.
So like your inner critic could have very well said to you, yeah, Xavier, this sucks. Mm-hmm. But if it was it was you criticizing yourself, you would have fixed it. Mm-hmm. I think that, and I think that's what I'm like kind of getting at. And I want you to continue, but like from what I'm hearing is in that moment, as much as it sounded like, okay, Xavier, I think what motivated you is the fact that you didn't tell yourself you sucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I told myself this just wasn't the song for me to do.
Okay.
This just wasn't the song. Okay.
Well done. Damn. Well done.
And
that's hard to. Anybody that's a musician or a songwriter, you know how freaking hard that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And like as much as I thought of this idea and how it could be cool, it's not the end of the world. I can do another song and another song and maybe another song that'll sound just perfect with my vocals and blah 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 blah. So stop for a second, eat a fucking burrito because I was on my way from picking up food. Eat a burrito, restart, and I think that's exactly what I did. So
now let me ask you something. In that moment when you restarted, were you doing it because you wanted to create something better, or because what he said got to you? And you
that definitely got to me. I will admit it definitely got to me, and it wasn't more of I wanted to show him, look, motherfucker, like I can make something good, and I'll show you. Yeah. But it definitely got to me, and it really, really did, for sure.
So it got to you, but it seems like it motivated you more.
Yeah.
But it didn't send you into the spiraling self-doubt where like, oh, I'm not good enough. It's like, all right, well, I'm just going to go make something that's better then.
Yeah, but, I had that, what you're talking about of like kind of spiraling down and then like regretting that I even started. I had that feeling.
Okay.
I regret even starting to make my own songs, you know?
Yeah.
I totally did. And I was like so just discouraged right there for like a good hour, I'd say, of just like
That's nothing compared to what it usually is.
I was just like I suck. I think I just told like this is just not good, or I don't know, whatever, you know.
Interesting.
I'll get over it. You know, I'll have to get over it because this is what I love to do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's badass.
Thanks,
that's
man.
rad. well, because I mean, you spiral down, right? You're in that place, and I think what's really important about that voice in our head that trying to notice and push away and get rid of that inner monologue of us spiraling and we're not good enough and this and that and what if this. I don't think it's impossible to get. I don't think it's possible to ultimately get rid of that. I think it's possible to get good at recognizing it.
Yes.
And what I've understood is recognizing it isn't enough. It's not enough.
It's not. No.
Because you're still spiraling. You just hear it louder now.
You just
right.
Yeah.
Taking action.
Yeah.
With a creative outlet, with any outlet that allows you to. That inner monologue that takes you into that crappy place. The taking action, I think, is one of two things. And this is from my personal experience. And if you have more suggestions, I want to hear them. And it sounds like you took action by, just getting back up. You toughed it out. You were badass about it. For me, it's I have to do two things. If I can notice it. If I don't catch it quick enough, I'm going to be sitting on the couch roasting myself, right? I'll have to pick myself up and drag myself out of it. That's what it is. But when I do pick up on it and catch it, I realize like, all right, I have two options that are only going to work. One, I have to do something totally different.
Okay.
If I'm spiraling out of control over the podcast or over music or over friendship, if say I'm recording one day, right? I'm recording guitar tracks and it's not going right, and that voice comes in, and within 20 minutes I feel like crap. Me sitting there and trying to play guitar.
It just doesn't.
I don't care how good I am or how long I've been playing or how professional I am.
Yeah.
Like if it's that, I put the guitar down, I shut the studio down, and I'm gonna go have sushi, or I'm gonna go walk on the beach, or do something totally different. And because in that moment you want nothing but to prove yourself to yourself.
You're right.
So you try to grab onto, you try to hold on to that, and try to grab that voice and say, "Hey, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna do it right." But you end up just failing and failing and failing and failing. Or I find something that requires 1,000% of my mental focus. Doing I don't do gymnastics, but say I find something really, really hard to do, something that I can't do unless I give everything to. Like pick up a book about physics.
Yeah.
Try to understand a concept about physics. Like that will require all of your mental strength.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's no room for that voice. By the time you're done with that voice is gone.
Interesting.
But you have to find something that's gonna full mental focus.
I should try that.
So those are my two things.
Yeah.
For you, do you have like a technique that like when it pops up, you're like, all right, I'm doubting myself or I'm feeling bad at myself? Do you have something where like, all right, this is what I'm going to do to get out of the rut? Not that you have to. I'm just curious.
I don't know. I think I always take it situation by situation of why it's not working out the way I think it is.
You analyze.
Yeah, I definitely do. And I'll try to pick it apart. If I can't figure it out, I think I'll seek help for sure. I'll ask.
That's a huge one, man.
I'll ask somebody who I think or might. You know what? You know what I do a lot? I ask a lot of people who don't even know, like if it's focused on a song or something, who don't know anything about music
Wow.
And I'll ask them opinions because I'm like, let me see what they think. Let me see what they think. I'll just ask for help. I don't care how I get it. I just want to know differences of opinions, and then I'll go to someone I completely trust or like someone who knows what the fuck they're talking about, and then I say, okay, why is this not working, or what's
and that's not even the song, that's literally just like any situation, imagine a feeling, like I'm feeling this way about this situation, I want to go and ask a bunch of people that aren't connected to that situation to get that what is that that's the outside opinion, there's a word for that, whatever, unbiased opinion. Thank you. That's great. That's genius.
So I do that a lot. I do.
You're quick to jump on doing that too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I'm not perfect. I don't have all the answers, and I don't. I don't want to think I do, because then you start going off thinking you're all egotistical or something, or you think you're the shit. But I just want to know what this person thinks, that person thinks, and that person thinks.
It's almost like you go out and you get so many opinions that you spend all your time listening to the other people, that by the time you're done listening to them, that voice has already ran out of steam.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That's real. That's really great.
And then the voice kind of changes, you know, and it changes, and it's like not that anymore. It's now it's kind of moved on and aiding me in a way of like, oh, this is why this, or maybe it's like an outside perspective of what I take bits and pieces, you know.
Nice. That's just something that's so simple, but we never think about. And I think it takes even more courage to do it with what you're doing, because once again, those out there that everyone has some sort of creative outlet, whether they want to believe they're creative or not. There is something in their life that is an outlet, even on the smallest form.
Right.
But let's talk about a painter, right? Mm-hmm. The painter, they spend all this time in choosing colors, and like there's so much that goes into this, beautiful work of art. And for them to immediately halfway through the painting and this voice pops in, for them to say, hey, I'm going to go take it to a bunch of random people that don't know anything about, the fancy world of art, and to get their opinion. Mm-hmm. Like, to share it when it's done is a big deal. Right. But to share it when it's not done, to expose your process, to be that vulnerable and that open with it, that's insane. Like, that takes so much.
Because you never know, because somebody's going to shit on the situation.
They're definitely you're gonna get someone that's gonna roast you. And they're gonna roast you harder than you're gonna roast yourself.
Exactly.
So you let someone else do it before you do it to yourself. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's taking action.
I'm always expecting that for sure. Somebody to like really give the worst opinion.
Interesting. My buddy was telling me about a guy he follows. I don't remember any of the names. Mm-hmm. Just people that are motivational and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And this guy is successful and he has a business. And I guess what he does is he'll go through like comments on all of his channels and his social media, and he'll go through, and the reason he does it, he goes and he'll see if someone says something negative, something they don't like about what he does, he'll go through everything, and if he doesn't find a single person that says a positive to that specific thing, he won't ever do that again.
Really?
And I'm like, that's a really smart way to hone things in.
I feel like I would be the same way too.
Because it's not that anybody, it's like someone says something, I don't like this. Yeah. It's not that it's not that it's just one person. If one person says it and like there's 1,000 other comments that don't say anything negative, he still will stop doing it because no one said anything specifically positive about it. Right. And I'm like, wow. Oh. That's super in depth. Yeah. But it's crazy to be able to look at things like that, just to be so open about what you're creating that you're not holding on to it that tightly. Right. It's like I'm willing to let go at any phase to let it grow to something bigger.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love that idea. I love that.
It takes guts. Sorry, I'm like choking to death over here.
No worries.
Wow. Damn. Yeah. Go get the opinion of other people.
I got to try that. What you mentioned though. Like taking all my mental energy and reading something that I can't even read.
I like reading because usually it's like I got such a big bookshelf of like crazy books where like I can just pick up a book and be like, open a page, like, oh my god, like, all right, how do I understand this? And like within 10 minutes, like whatever was happening does not matter anymore.
I want to try that out for sure.
Or try to do a handstand or something.
Oh my god, I cannot. There's no way.
But no, that's helped. That's worked for me. But
cool.
Maybe that's just ignoring. I don't know. I just think recognizing it isn't enough. Right. And that's what I'm getting at. So
absolutely right.
Especially people that are creating things, especially music.
I know. It's so personal.
Yeah. And we spend so much time trying to like figure out what the next transition is. What's the right chord? What's the right note? What's the right beat? What's the right this? Yeah. If we can't recognize this, then what's the point, right?
Right. You're right.
Damn. Anyway. I like that one. That's
cool.
I think that's a really, really good one. Number 3 was mantras, every self-help book, every
Right.
you know, there's like have mantras, and they do work to a certain extent. When I was 13 years old, I came up with one. I said it to myself every morning for like 7 years till I was like 20, you know, and it helped. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome. But the results that's producing for taking action is not enough, in my opinion. So I think a mantra has to be, you know, it's fun, it's good to have a mantra, but I think more importantly, there needs to be something you're physically doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like people go to the gym every day, right?
Right.
Or like people do, I don't know. I go to the gym. That's my example.
Right.
But, you know, but I think it has to be something, a physical aspect.
Yeah.
Right. And for me, it's hands-on repetitive work, whatever that is. For me, that's running scales.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
if I'm showing up for myself, if I'm saying high is first, if my needs are a priority and my creative outlet is allowing me to get that, then it doesn't matter where I am in my music career or my creative career, doesn't matter where I am, every single day, no matter success, no matter anything, I do this. I do this repetitive work because that is what's required of me.
Right.
It's just as important as waking up and looking yourself in the mirror and saying, you're loved and I love you and whatever the hell it is,
Right.
you know, just as important in that, if not more, because without that, you just can't do everything.
You're right.
So for me, it's that. Do you have something it doesn't have to be scales. Like
Right.
that's just
Right.
me. Do you have something that you do physically every day to keep you?
Physically, I guess you can kind of count this. I'm always talking if I'm working on a specific song, whether it be solo or the band. I'm always talking about that song and how I can, whatever it is I'm working on.
Do you intentionally bring it up? Do you say like every day I need to talk about this? I
don't intentionally bring it up. I just do it no matter what.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just I have to talk about it for me to feel better, you know?
Well, that sounds a little unhealthy.
Yeah, I know.
That sounds a little fucked up.
It's a kind of an obsession for sure.
But you don't have any repetitive work every day?
No, I don't have a thing where I'm like, okay, I flossed my teeth. Now I can, you know, by the way, I flossed my teeth now. So, but it's a huge thing.
You floss your teeth?
Yeah, because you know it's hard. It's nobody really likes to floss their teeth. I floss my teeth now, so
congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll get the flossing award.
So I don't have a specific thing where I have to do something. I mean, I think I'm always playing my bass. Sometimes I miss out, and you know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes I miss out of the gym. You know, it just happens.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but there is no specific thing where I have to do it, and you know, or you know, it zens me out.
yeah.
I don't.
Well, that's the other thing. I don't think it has to be a zen, because I feel like it's zen. That idea of being at peace and
Right.
calm and meditative is so attached to mantra, so attached to everything. Like, if anything, this should be the most boring, most difficult part of the day. Like routine, repetitive work that doesn't take much focus, but does take focus, but doesn't. You know, it's that you have to do.
Okay. I've been trying to get better at singing. I've been doing a bunch of vocal
There you go.
exercises every day.
And and that's good, because you know you have a goal with that, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I run scales to get better at this, or I, you know, do vocal exercise to get better singer,
Yeah.
whatever it is. And that's good. And I think that really falls on God. I think that's really important, because showing up for yourself says that regardless of what my goal is, I'm doing something every day.
So, So yes, that is what I'm doing now. And it only started when we were at a rehearsal one night, and I was so flat at hitting one of our songs, and they were like putting me on the spot, trying to make me sing this long note, and I'm like, and I could hit it, but Joe was like, "Why do you look so uncomfortable singing this note?" I'm like, "I don't know." And he's like, "You got to use your," like, he's trying to explain to me how to sing properly, and I'm like, just like kind of like, fuck, what do I do? So he, you know, sends me this 8 vocal warm-up exercises that he did with his teacher.
You have to send those to me.
Yeah. And I have implemented them in my day for ever since then. You know, I'm just like, one day, like even if I'm really hungover, I gotta fucking do it.
Yeah.
I just gotta do it. So I've been doing
That's
it.
great.
Yeah.
And it keeps you a little level-headed, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when you're doing that, everything else isn't there.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that is so, that's freaking zen. Well, so, and that's the thing. It's like, even if you weren't doing that, even if you're doing that 5 days a week, 4 days a week, 3 days a week, what I've discovered in my personal experience and diving into this idea of this personal mantra, this daily practice, this routine, this repetitiveness, the physicality, the taking action of some sort. This is a small action. This is a very small action that has a huge effect.
Right.
Doing 8 vocal exercises doesn't take that much time,
Right.
but has a huge effect on your personality, your confidence, your ability. I mean, has this huge effects. And I think it's important to remember that it's the small actions that can. So like, if one day I am not, I'm just, you know what, today I'm not running scales. Today I'm not going to practice my vocals. Today I'm not going to run the songs or run the set. I think it's important to do something physically productive that doesn't take as much. So sometimes I'll be like, you know what, I'm going to clean my studio desk. It could take 10 minutes. It could take 2 hours. But that physical action,
That's
there has
that's
to
good.
be.
I like that. I like that.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing: it's not to clean it to say I did something. It's like I'm cleaning this because I need it to be more organized. I
Right.
need organization.
Yeah.
And this will eventually lead to this.
Right.
You know, recognizing that small actions, no matter how dumb they may seem, have huge chain reactions.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's, I think that is the action form of daily mantra.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I like that vocal. You have to send me those vocal
I will.
exercises.
Yeah, I'll totally send it to you.
Dude, I've been on YouTube looking up these vocal.
I know.
So many
Yeah.
vocal teachers. I've blown out my voice twice because of freaking 2 vocal teachers on there. I'm like, like I'm doing something wrong, and you're not telling me what it is.
You got to do these. I do these 8 things. The one thing I do before anything, I'll just yawn because you're supposed to like open up whatever. So, and then I do these 8 things, and like, it's Joe and his teacher going over these exercises, and I'm just like, I feel like a fucking twat driving on the road, just like,
It's a track. Like you sing it.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
There's like 8 different tracks that you gotta.
Does it talk about how to breathe and all that stuff? Or you
Not
just
really. No, you kind of have to like
figure it out.
figure it out,
Ooh,
and
I like
yeah,
it.
but you'll like it. You'll like it. It's pretty cool.
Good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I can't afford a vocal
Yeah,
teacher.
no, neither can I.
Plus, honestly, if I had lesson money, if my budget had lesson money, I would be like hiring 8 different guitar teachers.
Right.
Be like, I need to learn everything.
Right. So
Because I'm not doing it on my own.
I get that.
I went into a instrumental music the other day, and Dave, the guitar player, he's a teacher there. He's a touring guitar player.
I think so.
Guy's a total shredder, and I've been like, playing so much acoustic lately. It's been a while. Like I'd like to get back, my chops back up and get better. And I walked in, I was like, "Is Dave teaching?" And John's like, "Yeah, he's here a few days a week." I was like, "I'd love to take like 3 douche lessons."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What?"
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I was like, I want to take 3 lessons, and I want the premise to be like, I want to play guitar like a douchebag.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want. Like that, there's a lot to learn from that.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
But
he's good.
dude, no, that has nothing to do with him.
Right.
It's like what I want.
Right,
Like I
right.
want someone that good. I want them to treat me like I'm some shitty little kid that just
Hell
wants
yeah.
to play like
Yeah.
shredding solos, bro.
That sounds like me. That sounds like something I would do too.
Like I want to go in with
Yeah.
that attitude, so they treat me like that. So I act because I skill level like I can learn that.
Right.
I'm not just being a dick. Like,
Right.
but I'm gonna be that so I can get what I want.
Exactly.
Because Dave's a freaking master guitar
yeah.
player. That
Oh,
guy
yeah.
shreds, But yeah, I want douche lessons.
Hell yeah. Get them. Get them.
Anyway, but yeah, so personal mantra daily practice. So the 4th one, and I'm sure you've heard this because everyone does this, and I've tried it. I'm not good at it.
What is it?
It's a gratitude journal, writing down what you're grateful for.
Oh
every day.
man, I can't. Okay, I bought a journal specifically to write my thoughts because Celeste, our friend Celeste,
Yeah, I talked to her
does
today,
it.
yeah.
She does it religiously, and she's like, I'm like, fuck. Maybe I should do that. I've tried. I still have not done it.
Dude, I have bought in the books that have like outlines for it. all
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
I haven't done it. I'm not good at it.
I haven't.
And see, here's the thing though, and I beat myself up because I could show you stacks of journals and books with writing and have designed specifically bought for this reason. I just haven't done it.
Me, yeah.
It's not that I don't like doing it. It's that I don't feel the need to do it. And it's not because, I don't understand the need. I think what I'm understanding is with a creative outlet, there is a part of it. If if you're showing up for yourself, if you're taking care of yourself and you're caring about this passion that you have properly, there's going to be a part of it that is giving you this gratitude journal. For me, it's jamming. Being able to just jam with friends, or just pick up the guitar and mess around and, play whatever chords and sing about stupid things. Like, there's this freedom to it.
Right.
And I realized, like, it's literally like recess.
Yeah.
It's like the recess of creativity.
Right.
Like, you have to find your jam, your sketch pad, your anything, your freedom, right?
Right.
And I think that is what this gratitude journal is getting at, right? Like, letting you recognize, it's all about recognizing what you're grateful for so you can realize that life is really good.
Right.
There's a lot more positivity than you think.
Right.
I think jamming at the end of the day, being playful with all the hard work, not only shows you how much you've grown, how much you've learned, how much skill and technique you have, but also opens up the idea that you're still able to be free and you discover new things. It's like exploring this beautiful place that you've worked so hard to have the skills for.
Right.
And a gratitude journal wants you to recognize positive things. I think jamming, I think doing what you love, doing your creative outlet freely allows you to be grateful. And that may be a stretch, but for me, that's exactly the feeling. Like, I think about what we're trying to get out of the book, the journal, and that's exactly the feeling I get when I do that stuff. So that's just me.
Right. I think for me, just being able to create and putting it out into something I can hear back, something someone else can hear back, just being able to create anything musically is like so positive for me, because even if it's just like a little riff that maybe I could turn into something and I really like that, and seriously, just recording anything that I think is like fucking sick, I'm gonna that's really just like, that's my positive outlet for sure. And it definitely I love the reassurance when somebody else gets as excited as I am about X project, right? Whatever. So
X's project.
Xavier.
Professor
X. That would be my gratitude, I guess.
Well, it's a thing, it really is about gratitude, right? It's about being grateful for things that are positive.
Right.
And lucky us, like, I mean, all of us, if we're able to find that part in our creativity,
right,
in our expression of self and emotion,
right,
if we can find a place that's that fun,
right,
like, how could you not be grateful? It's like,
exactly.
You don't even realize you are.
Exactly.
But I think with that is the ability to let go. And I think why, if some of us haven't reached that place, it's because we can't let go. Because in order to have fun, in order to just jam, in order to, you can't overthink.
Right.
Maybe that's the action you need to take for step 2, noticing that inner monologue. Maybe the action is like, freak it, let's just jam with someone, put yourself on the spot.
Right.
But you have to be able to let go. And you don't seem to have an issue with letting go. You seem to be pretty good about just like letting yourself flow and then going on to the next thing. Like, you're very good at that.
As far as that, I mean, as far as like certain relationships with people, sometimes I do have a hard time with letting go. Referring back to the old drummer that we used to have and Mr. Cole, Austin. Yeah, I don't like that guy at all. I really, really don't like that guy at all. And I should let go, but I love to shit on him I just love to shit on him.
Well, it's not even that. It's the ability to let go of your own restrictions.
Yeah. Okay.
Like maybe when Austin was around, maybe when you weren't writing at your best, you weren't playing at your best, you weren't letting go enough. And then when that was removed from the situation, you were able to let go of what you were thinking of yourself inside more.
You're right.
I think that's such a huge thing. Like being at band practice, you guys ever just like jam on one of your songs, just let it go along, or just mess around, or laugh about a riff, things like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's happening.
You ever like find a good chord progression and you just like sing melodies, not even words, for like an hour?
No, there was this I think it was like last week or something. There was something I was playing. Everybody was kind of doing something, and Lyle was playing this like little guitar. I hated it. I'm like, that sucks. Don't play that shit. And he like kind of looks at me, but that's Lyle and I have that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that he is like that with me too, because it's never personal. It's just like whatever you're playing is really shitty right now. Change that.
Well, that's a really good point, because like sometimes you have to build a platform and an environment so you can be playful.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know, and I think that's a big part of it too. Like, you know, just like you need to have a book to write in, you need to have an environment for you to be playful in.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe that's a big part that we're missing. Yeah. I like that. I love that. That's cool that you guys have that.
Yeah.
Lyle's funny.
He is. He talks so much shit to me. I love it.
How could you not? Everyone talks crap to you.
That's
Look
true,
at
that's
you.
true.
You just invite-
You know what's funny? One time my friend in high school, because I was on the lacrosse team. I know.
Yeah, see, it's too easy with you, man.
God. And then I forgot, people were just roasting me, and then my friend Weston was just like, everybody just loves to shit on you, and I'm like, I know. And he's just like, but you can take it, so that's cool. And I was like, all right, that's fine.
Slowly snapping on the inside.
I know. It's,
just building and building.
I'm 17 and I hate this.
28 now. Yeah. Except you're much bigger than everybody now.
Yeah,
so
just a little bit. So.
But yeah, so gratitude journal is free play to me. It's finding that free whatever.
Yeah, mine's totally just being able to create anything.
And also it's I think with that you have to, it almost forces us to have to go out and be a little social.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Be a little social. Don't keep it all yourself. Like, I can jam with myself all day, but at the end, like, it's not going to compare to being able to
totally
sit down. And that, I mean, social skills of a musician that's a whole nother level.
Oh,
whole
yeah.
nother discussion.
Oh yeah.
I talked about that with my last guest, Alec Finn, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's a wild concept to
Oh
me.
yeah, for sure.
Something not a lot of us talk about, but we're not going to dive into that. Right. So number 5, the last one, which sounded super cliche to me, was making time for yourself.
Okay.
Which, yeah, sure. Like, making time for yourself on the surface, it makes 100% makes sense. I think what I got out of it was learning how to balance your life, your outlet, and know where everything lies.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, you work a construction job. You have band practice twice a week. You did have a girlfriend.
I did have a girlfriend.
You know, you have responsibilities. You have people to see, things to be at, and whatnot.
Yeah.
And there's only so much time left.
Right.
Now, you still need time to be a human being,
right.
which is outside of, you know, music and outside of all that stuff. But just as much as it's important for you to have time for yourself, I think the level of importance that is, it needs to be the same level of importance as making time for your creative freedom, your creative outlet, making time to do your daily mantra, your you know, your repetitive motion, making time to have your free play, making time to, you know, acknowledge where you are. Yeah. You know, and for me, that's why I heard balance. I think for me is that making time for yourself in your actual life. I just used your life as an example, like I knew it. Yeah. But for you, what does making time for yourself actually mean?
If I'm focused on a song or something, or a project, or so right now. Oh, by the way, see this shirt? Foreshadowing to the next single that I'm releasing. I was wearing this shirt when we took the picture.
Like, I want to say that's cool, but Xavier, you wear a Hawaiian shirt everywhere, every day, all the time. You got it. Hey, ever been to one of your shows? You played at that.
No Hawaiian shirt.
You're always in a Hawaiian.
But in this,
what is this foreshadowing?
In this picture, I edited it to a way so. I mean, yeah, you can tell I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt, but it's cool. Anyway, if I'm working
Said no one ever about a Hawaiian shirt.
Hey, just wait. It'll come back again. I know it came back for a little bit. But
when?
A little bit ago, like a couple years ago.
I think Dad's 45 and up. It came back for
sure.
But no one else. No one else thought it.
I noticed hipster brands love to wear Hawaiian shirts.
Hipsters.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not one of them. Probably a little bit. Anyway,
I think because you said that, you are.
Yeah.
Isn't that how it works?
Yeah. You are the ultimate one, though.
Am I?
Yeah, I think so. Because you don't care at all.
I care plenty.
Didn't we focus last time we talked about style, and you're like, this is just what I wear. Hipster. Yeah,
but see, they care about what they wear. They have hipster
That's
clothing
true.
lines.
Yeah.
And I care about what I wear.
Yeah.
Usually. No, I don't care about my. I don't have a stage image.
Right. Okay.
But I mean, like, I like to look good.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. I mean, like, maybe I'm not.
Anyway, please continue.
Anyway, if I'm working, so speaking of balance, if I'm working on a song like the song that I have working on right now, I will cancel everything I need to do.
That's not balance.
I'm like, well, it depends. If I need to be somewhere for somebody, or if I'm weekends is best for me to like enjoy myself for sure. But if I'm working on something, I will definitely be working on this song. And once I hit a point where I'm like, okay, I'm good for today, I'll have my fun for sure. I feel like I'm always making time for myself.
Yeah.
You know, always. And like I told you before, I'm very selfish in a lot of ways, but I love to make my friends happy. I like to do a lot for my friends because, you know, they're my friends. They would do shit for me too. You know, if I really needed their help, they would totally be there for me.
Like burn all your Hawaiian shirts. Yeah.
Like burn all my Hawaiian shirts. Please don't you stay away from my Hawaiian shirts. I got a lot. Okay?
You know, it's like one of the first conversations me and Joe have ever had. I think the first time I met Joe or like really talked to him was about your Hawaiian shirt problem.
Oh yeah. It used to be worse. I used to have these bright colored ones.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
You still have that red one?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I tone it down. I'm in the darker color ones now. You know, a little bit more moody.
Oh, I'm gonna buy you so many Hawaiian shirts. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Anyway, always making time for myself for sure. I can get a little overboard if I'm focusing. If I want to get something done,
I mean, we all
I'm
do.
just like, no, you know, and I shut everything else out, and I'm doing this specific thing.
So let me ask you something. Mm-hmm. Like I want to. So scenario: you have work at
5 in the morning.
5 in the morning. You have work at 5 in the morning, and you have to go to work, right? Mm-hmm. Someone calls you and says, "Hey, I need you to do me a favor at 7
a.m." Mm-hmm. I got work.
All right. The next day you don't have work, but you said at 5 a.m. I'm waking up and for 6 hours I'm working on this. This is what my plan is. Someone calls, "Hey, I need a favor at 7 a.m."
Who's calling me and what do they need?
Well, see, that's the point.
Yeah.
If you had work at 5 a.m. and your mom called you or someone you love said, "Hey, I need something," like you're the only one that can do it, it was that crucial. You'd probably find a way to work, right?
Right.
So if I ask you, it's like, all right, that's kind of the unspoken thing. But then I ask you about the, your own personal stuff, your music, your creative outlet. Like there's a term to it, which is fine. I mean, that's healthy. That's like, it's the social construct of life. We can't avoid that. But I think for the idea of showing up for yourself and building a healthy schedule, a healthy structure, a healthy way of being there for yourself, I think whoever is struggling out there to do this, that needs to be just as important.
Yeah.
Like you need to be able to say like F you to the world.
Right.
Because this is your schedule. Unless it's a catastrophic event that you would skip everything else for in the first place, nothing, like you have to hold yourself accountable.
Right.
Making time for yourself is accountability, is balance through accountability.
Right.
And that's hard to do,
yeah.
right? Because that means that we have to say that what we're doing is more important than anybody else.
You're right, yeah.
And that sounds a little selfish, but
you have to be.
But I think it's healthy, isn't it?
And that what we're trying to get at? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because someone asked me that one time, the work and like and music thing, and I was like, well, yeah. I said the thing. I was like, well, okay, what's the favorite? Who needs what?
Yeah.
And it's like that's not the point, is it?
Yeah, totally.
They asked me, I was like, damn it, got it wrong.
Got me in that one.
Well, that was the fifth one, making time for yourself. So, I encourage anybody to read up on, like, type in showing up for yourself on Google, and I guarantee within the first few links you'll find these 5 things.
Yeah.
And you'll find all kinds of writings on it. And I thought they were really cool, but I think it's all about that action. Step 1, acknowledging where you are, taking action on that. 2, noticing the inner monologue and separating it from your inner critic, taking action to make sure you're, not roasting yourself.
Right.
3, personal mantra, daily practice. That's literally taking small action every day that has huge result.
Right.
4, gratitude journal, finding freedom, finding recess time, finding play time in what you're doing, taking action. And then making time for yourself is literally setting aside that time, holding yourself accountable,
Yeah.
and saying, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that can apply, of course, to everything in life because that's what it's about. But showing up for yourself as a creative, as a human passionate about something. Because creativity, I mean, my good friend Tony Clark, he's been on the show twice, a magician. He said one of my favorite things ever. He said, passion is physical. Anything you're passionate about in life has some sort of physical quality. You're doing something.
Right.
And I was like, wow. So find the passion in each one of those steps, and you will find the physical creativity.
That's cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Passion is physical.
Yeah.
Because it's always leading to some sort of physical act to create,
I
right?
like that. That's cool.
Yeah, I know it blew my mind the first time I heard it. I was like, what? That's pretty sick. I was like, yes.
That is a mood right there.
Mood, dude. I'm just going to say that from now on the show. If someone's going to say something like mood. Mood.
And make sure you include your sign. That is a Capricorn mood.
That's a Capricorn. That's a Pisces mood. Pisces mood, bro. And I'm going to have like little like images pop up.
Oh, God.
Pisces and then a cow. Pisces mood. I have a little like, I'll go total radio station buttons that make noises.
Oh, yes. That was good. You should just have something drawn out and make your own voice.
Oh, yeah, because I can do a cow noise. I can do everything else. What's a Pisces noise? What's a Scorpio noise?
I don't know, man. I was about to imitate a fish. Like,
what was that? So we're on an audio platform and you're going to imitate a fish.
Fish out of water.
Anybody listening? That sounds like a lot of other things.
Yeah. Well, it's a fish. It's a fish.
I mean, even in the video, like, you're not even making a fish face.
Yeah. That's right.
You're just licking the microphone.
Mood.
Oh. Anyway. So lastly, on this topic, I mean, did you want to share,
No, I'm following you, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on and doing this.
Thank you for having me. Always.
So lastly, I read this, and this was something that kept coming up with this topic, showing up for yourself. And it talks about the way you show up for yourself decides what shows up for you. And we've spent the last however long, 45 minutes, hour, breaking down these 5 steps. And everything we talked about was all what we do ourselves because we're showing up for ourselves, correct? Right. And the outcomes of that. One outcome that's not discussed, that's rarely ever talked about, is we think we're being selfish. We think we're being, mean to everyone by cutting them out, by putting ourselves first. But in reality, the way we choose to show up for ourselves, we choose to show up for ourselves by saying, hey, these things are important. I'm going to show up and I'm going to give it my all to pay attention to these things. That actually has a response. The thing that will determine who shows up for you, what shows up for you. Right. And you have to be willing to take that.
You're right.
And I think that's something that I've overlooked personally my whole life.
That's very interesting.
Because what happens first? It'll weed out all the weak people in your life.
Right.
As brutal as that sounds, the people that don't belong are going to be gone.
Yeah.
Because you don't have time for the bull crap. You know? Poof.
Yeah.
And then you got this open slate. So when things do start coming in, it's hard. It's hard to say no. It's hard to cut people out. It's hard to recognize.
It is hard for me to say no too.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's just because we convince ourselves it's not enough reason to say no.
Right. Yeah.
And all of a sudden we owe someone something, right?
Yeah.
But imagine all the energy we feel like we owe someone if we felt that for ourselves.
Right.
What would that response? What would the response be?
You're right. Yeah.
People would want to be around us more.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So I think how you show up for yourself invites the response, and making it clear that I'm not talking about a monetary value. Because how often do you see, if you believe in yourself and you give it your all and you just stick to your guns, eventually you're going to succeed and there's going to be money. You're going to make it. You're going to and that's all great. But once again, it's so easy to talk about, but it's not about monetary value. It's not about, if you're showing up, if you're trying to be genuine to yourself because you believe that's part of the process to get financially successful, you've missed the entire point.
Right.
I think how you present yourself, your intention and your presentation to yourself will show to the world and will allow you to have the relationships that come in that make you happy. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of perks that come along with it.
That's very good, man. That's, ever thought
Neither
about.
did I.
That's crazy.
I read that and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
It got me. It hosted me.
I'm going to think about that more.
So don't ever let up on, if you think you're being selfish, like if you want a gratitude journal, forget the gratitude. Write a journal of all the things that you do for yourself and all the things that you do for that you think you're doing for other people.
Right.
And dude, what did it say? I had someone say like the best thing you can do for your parents is not take care of them, is to be so wildly successful in yourself that they can look at you and be proud, kind of thing.
Right.
It was little too honed in for me, but
Right.
I like the idea of being so wildly obsessed with yourself, not conceited, but with what you're doing, and so obsessed with making it good, making it healthy, making it right, making it the best it can be without losing yourself is the best thing you could do for everyone you love.
Yeah. It's
the
true.
best thing you could do for the world.
It's very true.
It's your contribution.
Yeah.
Right?
Cool.
That was just my little spiel.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's amazing. I can't say anything.
You can say plenty.
I can't say anything as good as that.
You missed the whole point. It's not about as good as
I
that.
I know. I don't know if I can.
Well, you don't have to.
Yeah, I don't know if I can dive into that because I feel like I will say that the path that I chose and everything leading up to this point, I feel like I've recognized, without thinking of that specific thing, I've recognized the people that I consider close to me and I trust. I totally recognize that, and I'm like, these people are good people to me, and I love that they're in my life, and like especially the people that I can really reach out to and talk to and be like, confide in them and vent. That's a lot, and that speaks more than anything, really. So I totally recognize the love that transfers. So
And that's great that you recognize that, because I think what you're receiving from these people wouldn't be possible if you didn't put the amount of time and effort into yourself that you're doing.
Right.
Because why would I put time and effort into having a relationship with you if you won't even take care of yourself?
Right.
Yeah. That's something recently. I wrote a song called "Like a Fool." You'll hear it at the show.
Oh, yeah.
Show November 23rd.
Hell yeah, I'm there.
And I wrote it because I was so tired of giving 99% of the work of a relationship to someone that doesn't want to have a relationship with me. Right. And all that effort we put in that left no energy and effort for Haig, right? No energy for me.
Right.
My music was suffering. I didn't want to play. I didn't crave the steel strings against my fingertips, the smell of the wood in the early 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, there's things, it's weird, but the smells,
things that got you going.
Nose in a sound hole of a guitar. It's just,
Yeah.
like that stuff. Well, I wasn't feeling that.
Huh.
And it wasn't that I didn't love it. It's that there was no capacity. There was nothing left. And I kind of said, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm tired. It's like, where I live, where I'm at, stuff like whatever it is, like you got to put the effort in.
Right.
And if I'm going to put effort into things that matter to me, and it was scary.
Yeah.
And I lost a lot of people along the way. Right.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten it down. I'm far from, maybe went from like 99 to like 95% towards other people. I'm giving myself 4% back.
Right.
But just in that, like, I've noticed the difference in relationships. Like, I don't have to talk to everyone every day.
Right.
I don't have to do everything every day. Like, I'm taking care of myself, and the people that are going to be good for me are recognizing that.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll totally, keep acknowledging you as well for like, hey, like, I think whoever you decide to keep in your life will totally just be on your side and support you no matter what.
Well, and that's where like great relationships come from, right? Like you care for yourself so much that people can have you open up the door to have a relationship.
Right.
Dude, I was in the gym the other day, and someone came up to me and just said congratulations. I was having a rough morning. They're like, congratulations. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I haven't done anything.
Right.
I'm like, congratulations on what? They're like, on everything you're doing. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I've been watching all you're doing. Like,
really?
Like, dude, you're doing so much stuff. He's like, man, I would take physical pain any day over all the stuff that you have to deal with to make that happen. just out of the blue.
Wow.
Out of the blue, this came. I was like, and from someone that, really is going to be at that gym the rest of their life kind of thing, just someone that recognized it. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because this is not someone I'm close to, but just it's people see.
Yeah.
If you want to be recognized, if you want to have good relationships, if you want people to love you for you, then this is another thing about taking action. Like, you can love yourself. That's important, but that's not enough.
Right.
Take action on yourself.
Take action, yeah.
Be yourself.
That's good.
Act on yourself.
Very good.
Do passion is freaking physical.
Yeah.
Be physical with it.
That's true.
Get physical with your life.
Hell yeah.
And that's what that's what showing up for yourself is.
Absolutely, man.
I really hope that Instagram gets better for you. Full circle.
Full circle. Full circle. This goddamn mood, man.
Oh, mood.
Read that again.
Read that again.
Yeah.
You're Pisces right now, total mood. Read that again. I have a quote maker app.
Make that.
I have a quote maker app where I insert my logo and all that stuff for the show. I'm literally gonna just post that. I'm gonna put Scorpio
mood.
Read that again. And I'm just gonna Photoshop pictures of you subtly in the background.
Yeah, just me, just angry face, ah.
If this episode wasn't so deep, I would call it mood.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, I'm excited to hear your new music. Are you releasing anything soon?
Yeah, pretty soon. It's called Circus Zoo. Okay? It was an idea I had a long time ago.
About a year, right?
No, more than that. It started in 2015 when I went to Coachella. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I had the idea. I didn't know what it was going to sound like, obviously. I just had the idea of the idea of making my own music isn't new for me.
It's always been stirring.
I just it was just a thought though, But to take action? Oh, no.
No, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just would make excuses for sure.
Yeah.
And then so the idea I've always had, and then I made the song, but I put it on SoundCloud, but that was the first song I was really proud of oh, this sounds pretty cool, Maybe I can do this. And then somewhere along the line, my dad completely shit on me and and I got discouraged, and I was like, no, this is not for me again. But I still remembered that song, and I'm like, I really, really want to make that song again. So, this is the first song you showed your dad that one time. No, this isn't the first song. Okay, it was a different song. Okay. Yeah. I released a song I think it was second or third, and I was just trying new things out, and then, I got roasted hardcore. Yeah. But I still really like that Circus Zoo song. Hell yeah. So I wanted to remake it, and so I'm remaking it right now. So it's going to be good, man.
What does Circus Zoo mean?
It deals with mental health. Ooh. Yeah. It deals with
fad mood.
Super Scorpio rising mental health in Circus Zoo.
Just so we're clear, no one's making fun of mental health.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, guys, I'm on board with mental health.
We're making fun of all the what are they called?
Instagram, whatever. Read that again thing. I don't know how to
listen to that again.
Yeah, I don't know how to distinguish these things. Anyway, it is about mental health, and it is about dealing, and I guess really acknowledging that this is something in your life, okay? And now I'm making a song out of it. This is something in your life, and it's not good or bad. It's just the experience of going through it. And this is my life, and this is what it feels like to me.
You're kind of taking the opposing factors out of it in the sense of if it's good and if I'm trying to make it good, it's implying that it's already bad. If I'm trying to find something bad in it, it means that something's too good. Right. And you just take it out and say it doesn't matter. Right. Good or bad it's whatever at surface level. We're just saying this is a part of it.
Mm-hmm. And this is what it feels like. So
interesting. Yeah. That's a cool name for that.
Thank you.
Circus Zoo.
Yeah. I got to show it to you when once.
Should we drop acid and do it?
I would love to.
I'm afraid to do acid.
Oh, I've done it one time.
Is it great?
It was so interesting. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Here's the issue. I know a guy. Mm-hmm. We all know a guy with an acid story, right?
Right.
He did acid when he was 15 years old.
And he really fucked himself.
His mind snapped. and his life went downhill, and he destroyed himself for 10 years. And he finally was able to work through the damage. And when he finally came to 10 years later as a 25-year-old, spent 3 years rebuilding his life, doing pretty well. But looking back, he said everything he had to go through was exposed from acid.
That's insane.
And I was like, I don't want to do acid.
Yeah. At 15, your mind is developing, and you should not do anything like that. Granted, I smoked weed, I think the first time when I was 15.
I was 12.
Were you really?
I didn't get high, though.
Neither did I. I think I took one little,
I took a bong rip.
Oh, I did not. I took a little thing and did not get high. So now when I was 17.
But weed is weed. It's it's not hurting anybody.
Right. But acid at 15? No.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll try shrooms first.
That was fun too.
Well, you did all this shit without me.
I've done a lot of things.
Damn it, man.
Damn, I gotta pee.
All right. Well,
sorry.
Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Xavier, seriously, thank you for coming and talking about this. I'm really glad that it was you that I got to talk about this.
Yeah.
And you shared everything.
Yeah.
Showing up for yourself. Don't forget to do it.
Absolutely.
Xavier, you can go pee.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye, guys.